Okay, let's start talking about what the areas are going to look like. First of all, I think I should say that New York Center, we use this in the areas. We put it up on our ESIS. The way we do that is, and for those of you who don't have ESIS, ESIS is basically just a projection from whatever's running on your PC. It's projected up on a screen into the areas. The area tools that we're about to look at right now, again, they're a web page. They operate in a web browser. So the areas will just boot up the web browser, set up the page, and they drag it over on their PC, and it shows up on their projection in the area. So if those of you who don't have ESIS, you can just have it on the supervisor's monitor. Some of our areas, when there's weather in the area, they won't rather show the weather or a TSD up on their ESIS projector, but they keep their area window open on the desktop so they can see all the restrictions come and go. Before we go to the areas, the areas do see any of the messages that TMU puts in automatically. That's why we direct them to the specific areas. And for more delay, let's go take a look. Now, from the TMC page, you can go see what an area is viewing. If you were in the area, you would just go to the area page, but from the TMU page, you have to click View Area. When they boot up their web browser, this is where the areas will go. It's the Pick Area page. Again, in New York, we're numbered A through F. So let's take a look at, let's say, Area A. So we're going to make believe we're Area A. This is what, again, is what the areas will be looking at up on their ESIS projection. One of the first tricks I want to let you know, we talked about tricks as far as web browsers go. If you hit the F11 key, it turns it into full screen. And the areas do use this because they don't need to see the address bar or any of the links up on the top. You can hit F11. You can also, if you right-click this bar, you can also auto-hide the bar, which will take it away completely. So it would be just black. The flash, if anybody sees the flashing lights, that's just the program that I'm using to record it. Again, F11 would bring it back down. So what are we looking at here? First of all, it tells you the area and the time, and that's very important as far as to know if the system has been updating itself. So again, the area pages, just like the TMC pages, will refresh themselves just about every minute. If you hit the F5 key or you hit refresh, it forces a refresh, and you're always looking at the most current data. Okay, on the area pages, again, remember our Cincinnati restriction that we had, Cincinnati J6. Area A has got to give 15 miles on that restriction. They are getting 15 miles from the area just to the north of them, and there's the start time and the expiration time. Now, what's important to remember is that the areas didn't type this in. This came automatically from the TMC tools. The TMC put it into the TMC tools page so he could keep track of it, and when he directed it by clicking that box, the area A, it automatically comes and shows up on their screen. As you can see, our Atlanta restriction, our Philadelphia restriction, and our Medina restriction is also all there. On the bottom, we're also looking at military activity. These are the blocks that affect this particular area, and they're hot. Now, as we'll see when we go into the admin tools, they can also toggle these messages, TMU messages and the military messages, on and off individually. But the one thing with the military messages is if the block is cold, nothing will even show up on their admin page or on this page. If the block is hot, it will automatically show up unless the area itself filters it out. Okay, now that we know what we're looking at on the area page, let's see what their tools are, or the way to control their display is. They have a bottom on the page here. Go to admin tools. They click that, and it brings up a number of different things. First, we'll take a look at the top. It says Area A, and it says TMU block is off. We will talk about that later, but it is, again, another filter that is put in. Give you the date and the time to make sure you're looking at current information. And they have their own links. View military ops. If they click that, they go to a military page. Again, it's a read-only military page, so they could see everything, whether it's hot or cold. It doesn't matter. They'll be able to see all of the military information in there. By clicking that, brings them back to this page, their main area page. Again, we're at the admin page. They also can view the en route restrictions that we had talked about before. These are things that may affect their area, may not. It's all of them that the TMU put in. Again, you could click return to area page, or again, it is a web browser. You could just click back and it'll bring you back to this page. The next button you see says turn auto filter on. It says up here TMU block is off. This is saying if you want, you can turn it on. What the TMU block will do, that some areas during the development of these tools decided they didn't want to see the restrictions automatically pop up. Some people like to type different things in, or each area kind of had their own individual taste. So we put a filter in. If we click the filter, you'll see that the link changed to turn it off, and up here it says TMU block now is on. If we go to the area page, you'll notice that all the TMU restrictions are gone. They're not there anymore. They're still active. They are still addressed to the area, but the area is not going to display them. And in light of September 11th, with a lot of the military information that we have, some felt that the restrictions weren't what they wanted up there. They wanted some different things up on their screen. So that gives you the ability to just kind of block them as a group. It'll block all the TMU restrictions as a group, so they don't show up. And again, depending on the facility, we can take this feature out, we can keep it in. Right now, we're kind of feeling out how we like it in New York Center. There's been just one area out of 6 that actually requested or used the block. But it is there if you want it, and again, it always warns you that it's on. If you just click the link, you can turn it off, and that's how you would do it. Another thing that the areas have, again, which are individual to the area, is they can add a message. Basically a free text message. You can type anything you want in there. Click the enter message box, and you'll see that now on this line the first thing that pops up is what we call an area message. This is just a free text message that the area soup can put in, and only this, it's specific to the area, in this case area A. They're the only people that'll see it. If we go back to their page, you'll see that on the bottom here there's a little message: take long breaks. You had something weird happening, the status of a warning area or a mower, or something that you needed to get up that it didn't quite fit into any category. That's where you can put it in. And of course, like everything else on TMC Tools, there's an edit button and a delete button. Don't want the message up there anymore, just click delete, and now it's gone. Another nice feature with the areas is they can change the colors that they use on their main page. If we go back to the area page, we'll see we have a green header, black background, and white text. In New York Center, this color combination seems to work well, but certain ESUS projectors, whether the light bulbs are old or new, they give different tints to the colors, to put it kindly, and it kind of throws off, it messes up the clarity, and you can't see it that well. So every area has what I call their own page settings. Again, we can go to the admin tools, and there's a link up here that says edit page settings. So we click on that, it brings us to a nice blue page, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff here. First, font size. Pull down box, we can change the size of the fonts of the messages, that the TMU messages that was up there, to make them bigger or smaller. You can do it right from here. We can put a border around it, which is basically that white outline around each restriction. I like to use none, but if you like the borders, you can put it there. And if we look down here, you can see that there's 3 columns: background, heading, and text, and then all the colors. Let's say we wanted a yellow background with light blue heading and dark blue text. You would just click them just like that. Go up to here now, and you see where it says View Test Page? We'll click that because we want to kind of see what it looks like. Then we'll hit Submit Changes. And that's our page. That's what it would look like. And if you like bright yellow, I guess you'd like this page. You have 2 choices: commit the changes or don't commit the changes. I think this is horrendous, so we'll hit Don't Commit Changes. Drops us back to this page. Resets the colors to the black background, green heading, and white text. Let's maybe go with a white background and black text, and we'll go with a red heading. Now again, we'll hit the View Test Page and click Submit Changes. Hey, that's not too bad. Let's commit those changes. And now that's our area page. That's what it would look like. So you can make all sorts of changes. The changes are unique to each area, and the areas can change it as many times a day as they like, without any affecting any other area or impacting the system. So that's kind of a nice tool. We had found, like I said, that if you go to the edit pages, we have found that the black background seems to work the best. Whatever you set here as the border and the colors and the font sizes, if you don't want to view, if you know the combination that you like and you don't want to view it as a test page, just don't click that, hit submit changes. That'll put the changes back, and notice we're back to the configuration that New York Center likes. Okay, we got just two more things to look at in the areas. Is the log entry. Pretty straightforward. You go to the admin page, there's a little link, you click log entry. You can just sign in, and you can put anything you want, any comments saying that you've signed in or making log entries, and it goes into the TMU log, or the TMC Tools log, which will show up on that viewers web page, which we'll get with New York Center. Like I said, we print out every night through automation and bring it to our office people. But it's just a free text field. You can put whatever you want. You put submit into the log. It takes you back to your main page. It's in the log. Okay, we go back to the admin page, and if you look down at the links here on the bottom of this page, there you have two boxes. All the military operations show up here. All the TMU restrictions show up down here. We talked about how they can toggle individually the different restrictions, and that's what this show me, hide me is. Basically, if we look here, P40, the button says show me. So that means currently the P40 block is, the P40 message is hidden. It's not hidden. It is hidden. It's not going to show up on the page. And if we click it, it'll turn to hide me. Now what this is saying now is that it'll show up on the page. So you click it, when it says hide me, it changes back to show me, and this indicates to you now that that message is hidden. If we look down here, you can see he's toggled different ones to different configurations, because some of the military activity he may not want to see. But we do like to have the areas have the ability to see all of them or display all of them, even if they're not affected directly by that. But they can filter them out, so just by playing with this you can turn the restrictions on and off. Along the same vein is the TMU restrictions. If the TMU block that we talked about before, that big overall restriction, is off, all the restrictions that the TMU controller puts into the TMC tools will automatically go up on the area that it's been directed to. But let's say the area doesn't want to see it. It could be an HVR that they know very well, or it could be a depart, something that they're getting for spacing, and they may not want to put it up on the board. And again, all the restrictions say hide me, which means these 4 restrictions are being displayed in the area page. So if we click area, we'll see that there's 4 restrictions up there. We can go back to area tools, scroll down, and let's say we want our Cincinnati J6, we want to hide that. We'll also hide our Atlanta restriction. Now when we go back, click area page, you'll notice those restrictions are gone. The big difference between these filters and the TMC block, the TMC block filters all of the TMU restrictions. It hides them automatically. If that is off, you can toggle these restrictions on and off individually. And again, these are individual to the area. You toggling them on or off has no effect on any other area, and TMU doesn't know whether you toggle them on and off. It's for the area to configure. It's up to the supervisor and the CIC to figure out what he wants shown and what he doesn't want shown. If a restriction changes, it will automatically unhide itself and pop back up on the box. So if I change this Cincinnati J6 restriction, the time period of the mileage, it will automatically, even if it was hidden, show up again on your screen. One last thing to talk about is when there's a change made to a restriction, you will see an indication on the area page. Let's look at this text for a moment, and we'll see that everything's pretty much is pretty uniform. All the text is straight up. It's not underlined as far as the TMU restrictions go. Now, if we were in TMU and we change the restrictions, such as our Cincinnati restrictions, we'll click Edit, and we're going to change it, and we're going to say now we've extended it to 0800. We type in that change, hit the Enter button, and to us it looks the same, except the expiration now is 0800. Let's pretend we're one of the areas. We'll go back to Area A, and you'll notice that that Cincinnati restriction changed. It's now underlined, and it's in italics. What that's telling the controller is within 15 minutes, or this restriction has changed. Something's been updated, and it's less than 15 minutes since it's been updated. So if a controller was looking at the Cincinnati restriction for the last hour and a half, and now he looks back at the screen and he sees that it's underlined, he's going to know there's some sort of change that has occurred. This will stay in this state, the underlined and italicized state, for 15 minutes. Again, that's a parameter that New York Center uses. It's adjustable. So if you want it to stay that way for a half hour, if you don't want it to stay that way at all, you can put a 0-minute delay in there too. But it's just a way of letting the controller know, especially if there's a lot of restrictions up there, that something has changed. Again, if that restriction was hidden, it would automatically unhide itself. It was hidden. It changed from show me, hide me. Now it's saying by the link saying hide me, it means that it is showing. Now this link, this Atlanta restriction, if you look, is not being shown. We know that because the link says to show me. What do you want to do? If you want to show me, click this link. If we go back to the area page, we'll see that Atlanta is not up on area A. So if we go back and pretend we're in TMU, and now we change Area A's Atlanta restriction, we extend it out till 0900. We make this change. Again, the change is reflected on the TMU's page. We'll go to view the area. Will be Area A again. That the Atlanta restriction that was hidden now is not hidden. It's italicized, it's underlined, and it will stay that way for 15 minutes.